Good day, I'm Dan, and you found Therapy Woodworks. And we're here for another in the series of Two Tip Tuesdays. Even though this is only the second one. But I plan on doing these all the time, regularly, every Tuesday. I got two tips for you today on Tuesday. The first one is, don't be an idiot, do some research. So I had a project that I was doing most recently, and it was one of my most in-depth projects of some beautiful speaker stands. I thought I knew everything about everything. Well, at least I thought I knew everything about routers and router bits and flush trim bits. So I didn't do any research. I just dug in and did it. And man, that was a bit of a mistake. I ended up damaging one of the spar pieces almost to the point where I had to throw it in the garbage and start over again. So once I was extremely frustrated, I went to one of my reference points, YouTube. I watched a video on just that topic, the topic of flush trim router bits and the best ones to use and how to use them and things like that. And I learned a lot. And from that, I applied those techniques to my learnings, and the rest of the project came out just perfectly fine. So I have to thank Jonathan Katz-Moses, because he's a big YouTuber and he puts out a lot of material. And you really should go see the YouTube video that I watched regarding flush trim router bits and how to use them on your router and router table and what exactly goes on. He's got some wonderful high-speed video that I will never reproduce. My camera doesn't quite go to that speed that he did. So definitely go and visit his YouTube video right there somewhere. And also, he inspired me so much that I have a brand new Jonathan Katz-Moses woodworking tool pouch. So far, I'm pretty impressed with it. I only got it yesterday, so I'm glad to be able to wear it today. I haven't filled it up with anything other than my microphone. Oh, sorry about that. As you can see in this little video clip, an excerpt from the making of my speaker stands, I made a boo-boo. So what are the three major things that I learned from Mr. Katz-Moses regarding flush trim router bits? Number one is we want to avoid climb cuts. So climb cuts are basically when you're going against the grain. Sometimes it's unavoidable, and especially in the case of when I was doing the flush trim on the spars on my speaker stands, it was completely unavoidable because the grain was going in the wrong direction compared to the rotation of the router bit. I had no choice, I had to do it. The second thing that I learned, and probably it was the biggest mistake that I made, was not getting close enough to my line on the bandsaw, so I left too much material to cut off. The material was just too thick, and I was using too tall of a straight cut bit that was removing too much material and against the grain at times. And no matter what I did, I could not avoid the chatter and the ripping out of material. It was inevitable that I was going to get bit, and I did. No, I didn't get bit, the wood did. The third thing, or the third most important thing, is your choice of bits is really, really important. So if you do get the opportunity to go view Katz-Moses' video on the use of spiral bits as opposed to straight bits. So I only had all of these straight cut bits available to me, and some of them an inch and a half and an inch and a half. Look at that monster. This is the one that caused me all the grief. So both top bearing and bottom bearing. But once I started using them, I was cutting off way too much material at one go. So I have a couple of the spiral type bits, but definitely not flush trim bits. I could have used with a router bearing, which is a whole nother topic, but I didn't. I didn't even know what these were for because I didn't do my research. Bad Dan. Thought I knew it all. Never think you know it all. I'm going to be banishing these to the bottom of the router bit selection drawer. I mean, there are times that you can use them and they're okay, but I am definitely going to be investing in some much better spiral type flush trim bits. The second tip of the day is actually not a woodworking tip. It's a tip of the hat. So I was on an ambulance call last week, and unfortunately a senior member of our community decided it would be safe enough to go for a walk. Well, his walk included a walk across a frozen lake, which is now thawing rapidly. A little bit of misjudgment. He broke through the ice in dire danger. By the alert actions of one of my YouTube subscribers, he saved the day. So he went out, he was alerted by his dog, and he went out and aided the fella to safety, brought him in, got him warmed up. So a tip of the hat, I know I don't have a hat, to my friend and subscriber on this channel, Brad. Thank you for saving a life.